This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Bro, gnarly.
What's up, Taylor?
Dude, that nerd in his electric hybrid totally blew the light while texting his yuppie friends.
That's so bogus, bro. Are you hurt?
Yeah, like I can't move my hips, bro. I think I broke my pelvis, man.
Dude, no way.
Way.
Taylor, you need to drop a dime and talk with the lawyers at the Advocates Law Firm.
No way, can't afford that, bro.
Your crotch is broken, man, and they don't earn any money unless they win your case.
Dude, no way.
You get injured, the advocates get results. Contact them today at advocateslaw.com.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to season 16 and episode number 3525. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and my cock. And you are the Men's Room. On tap today, we continue to celebrate S'more Week on a Bad Choice Friday. The return of Ted versus the FCC. Plus headlines, the Men's Room shot of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted.
Clack.
All right, here we go. South Carolina officials arrest a man who stole a horse, then hid it in his bedroom. Meanwhile, a mom finds out that she has not one, but 2 entrances to her womb. Japanese mayor finds out that only Olympians apparently can bite their gold. Man released from prison for murder does something which you would consider pretty bold. And a Wisconsin woman, she learns not to use a gun's laser pointer to play with her cat. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. Today, if you didn't know already, is Friday the 13th, which for a lot of people is a day associated heavily with bad luck, misfortune, affliction, hardship, cataclysm, anything else that's negative. Most people don't know why they're supposed to be freaked out on Friday the 13th, but that does not stop them from being freaked out on Friday the 13th. But like Stevie Wonder so eloquently stated, when you believe in things you don't understand, then you'll suffer. Now, Friday the 13th does not bug me, but I'm not above a few superstitions of my own. For example, one of the most expensive articles of clothing I own is my authentic NFL Baltimore Ravens jersey. But in spite of that, I only wear it 16 times a year. Maybe more if my team makes the playoffs. And I only wear it if my team is playing. And if my team wins, that jersey is not washed. If they lose, then wash that filthy losing whore of a jersey. I know it's stupid. It's pointless. I have no control over the game at all. But it's my absolute superstition. And it has been that way for longer than I would like to admit. And the other thing, I don't know why, I'll knock on wood a lot. You say something that might be fortuitous in the future, you look around desperately for wood, and then I knock on wood, and I ask myself, why do I do that? I don't even know why the hell you're supposed to knock on wood. But that's what superstition is. But look, we're not here to just talk superstitions. Oh, no. Let's talk phobias, too. In case you're wondering, spiders, heights, snakes, those are the top 3 phobias. And right here in the studio, we got all those phobias covered. But there's also globophobia. What's globophobia? Glad you asked. That would be the fear of balloons, you frickin' weirdo. Or xanthophobia. That's the fear of the color yellow, meaning to some people, Big Bird is the equivalent of Freddy Krueger. But look, whatever your deal, today we want your answer to today's question. What is your superstition, unnecessary fear, or phobia?
Be part of the Big Show. Call 206-421-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send those emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Well, great balls of fire, Bubba. What happened, Buford? That crazy son of a Sal blew right through that four-way stop on Main Street and plowed into my cowboy Cadillac.
Your what?
My pickup truck. And I'm pretty sure my leg is broken, Ted.
Oh, quit your bitching, Buford, and talk with those side busters at the Advocates Law Firm. When I got busted up last month, well, shoot, they made sure those snakes at the insurance company played fair.
Boy, howdy. Even that creepy so-and-so Kyle earned his keep.
So if you get injured, the advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Start summer up by mixing things up with top paint and stain brands at Lowe's. Shop HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams, Valspar, Cabot to find the perfect pop of color or classic shade you've been looking for. And don't forget to prep your deck for the season with reliable wood stain and sealer. Now's the perfect time to complete your paint or stain project. Lowe's, all things summer, all at the right price.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Obacholas, and away we go. Welcome to Season 16, episode number 3,525. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Oh, man, oh, man. It's a positive Friday the 13th.
Positive Friday.
Positive AF.
Is that even the thing, a positive Friday the 13th?
There is today, friends.
Okay, all right.
You know, Friday the 13th is good, Miles.
Well, it's not a bad day other than the fact you can't see outside.
Sure,
the weather sucks.
Right.
And they make movies about people getting stabbed, so what?
Yeah, that's all true, but
this positive. Friday the 13th, positive. Like
even though you said this was the last weekend of the summer in your mind.
Should be the last weekend of this kind of heat in my mind. Okay. And maybe I'm just ready to put on a damn hoodie.
Football season kicking off here. Time to do a little tailgate and get in the mood.
Damn right.
Big show for you today. Guaranteed no future repeat. The exciting return of Ted versus the FCC. Speaking of Ted versus the FCC, if Ted wins, if Ted loses, either way, on the Men's Room Happy Hour, it will be a Ted versus the FCC redemption. That's right. And a Would You Rather coming up as we'll take it to the Men's Room Happy Hour exclusively on Odyssey. Monday through Friday at 6 o'clock, we get off these airwaves. And if you download the Odyssey app, just search for the Men's Room and you will see the Men's Room Happy Hour. Once you get that, we'll be on at 6, but not on these airwaves. So let's just say that it's maybe not meant for kids in your car.
Although we did have a guy yesterday who said, "You're right. I'm sitting here with my 11-year-old, and it's awkward."
We're not really under the FCC rules, you see, when we go to the Odyssey app, so we can do what we want. Men's Room Happy Hour. We'll have that Ted versus the FCC redemption. Of course, on the regular program, we'll drink a toast with a shot of the day and the weekend. Then it's Bad Choice Friday time.
You know it's Bad Choice Friday. It's Bad Choice Friday. You know it's Bad Choice Friday. Hey, man, this is your fault.
Come on. And some inspiration, actually, from the head chef from Ted's Meat and Potatoes. We found out yesterday that it is International or maybe just National S'more Week. Either way, it's not a day. It's a whole freaking week of a celebration of the s'more. That's right. So today we have a battle of the s'mores featuring Uncle Cracker.
Give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I want to get lost in your rock and roll and drift away.
Hey!
Give me the beat, boys, and free my soul.
Uncle Cracker.
Get lost in your rock
And now the Dobie Gray song Drift Away, taking on the band known as Hot Chocolate.
I believe in miracles. Where you from? You sexy thing.
This sounds like every conversation on a bus in Baltimore.
I'm not sure that you could actually...
All you did is look good and step on the bus.
Yeah.
And 18 different dudes are going to hit on you.
No, they call you a sexy thing.
Hey, princess.
Yeah.
Hey, sexy mama.
Where are you
hey,
from?
Hey, man, pajama.
You
hey,
sexy thing.
Yeah.
Sexy thing.
He's not kidding.
Chocolate taking on a cracker. The only thing we didn't have was a marshmallow song, and we'd have the full, boat there on the spot.
We did think about marshmallows. What?
I just thought there's a famous DJ named Marshmallow.
DJ Marshmallow?
Just Marshmallow.
Just Marshmallow, Miles.
He's on the TikToks.
Oh, is he? Would my mom ask him if he does reunions and weddings and all that stuff, bar mitzvahs?
Do you know that Mr. Marshmallow fella?
He's coming to do our 50th.
If Marshmallow was at your wedding, that would be an awesome wedding.
Okay. Here's how you vote on Bad Choice Friday. Just to follow us on Twitter at Men's Room Live. The poll is up there. One of those two tunes coming up as we will drink and toast with a shout of the day. Then Bad Choice Friday, either Uncle Cracker or Hot Chocolate. Okay. Today on the question, what is your superstition, unnecessary fear, or phobia? As today is Friday the 13th. Steve, I think you hit it on the head with your jersey, especially on game day.
Right, dude. Like it's weird because if you get the authentic NFL one, right, they charge you out the butt. But I wanted it. I got it. And then as my wife points out, she goes, you don't buy clothes that cost that much and then not wear them. Right. I said, no, listen, I can only wear it on the days that they're playing. So one, it's only going to be in the fall and a little bit of the winter. That's it. Yeah. If they don't go to the playoffs, it gets worn 16 times. If they do, it gets the last weird 18 times it got worn. Yeah. It's been in the closet. And the thing is, if they win, so remember like 2 seasons ago, they were 14-2. That jersey did not get washed a lot, and I will tell you, toward the end of the season, I could smell it when I put it on. I didn't care. And about 4 years ago, she washed it once during a winning streak, and I about lost my mind.
Yeah. Well, I have this weird thing on jerseys. I really think that if I had a jersey store, right, it would be all the weird things that have ever happened in the history of trades and teams and things that didn't work out. You know what I mean? Like,
so the Seahawks Rice jersey?
Yeah, exactly. The Jerry Rice Seahawks jersey would be included. So would the Ryan Leaf Seahawks jersey. People who were here for like a minute or two, but then, they really didn't. Whatever.
You know what I would buy? And look, if you're a New York Giants fan,
sure.
This is the one time. No. I would get you a Scott Norwood jersey from the Buffalo Bills because I bet you would wear it.
If I was a Seahawks fan and we were playing the Steelers, I would wear a Seahawk Franco Harris jersey just to piss him off.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Just to piss everybody off. That would be the kind of. So when I buy my jersey, I bought, and I'm going to. Unapologetic Deion Sanders fan. Have been since I was a kid. He's just one of my favorite athletes. So when Coach Deion Sanders.
No, Coach Sanders.
Coach come on now.
My bad,
clear.
See, I remembered him as a player. But Coach
like everyone interviewing
the guy that entertained me on NFL Network for a while. But anyway, so Deion Sanders played for the Ravens. He came back a couple of years. He was 37 years old when he decided to unretire, and he played for about 2 years, I believe, or maybe a year and a half. I can't remember how it went down. But either way, Deion Sanders.
He had just got done that amazing stint in Washington.
Yes, he had. And that's where, you know him from the 49ers. You know him from the Cowboys. You know him, from all those other teams.
Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta. Absolutely.
Right, where it started.
You don't know him from the Baltimore Ravens. So I've got a Ravens Deion Sanders jersey. The number's 37 because he picked that number because that's how old he was.
Right.
I will only wear that jersey to a Ravens actual game.
That's probably the only place you should wear that one.
Exactly. I will not, but I wear my other jersey when I'm watching the game on television, if the game is on television. Weird superstition, but I think sports are a lot like that as far as...
They are, and it's still, I have absolutely no influence over the outcome of the game. As I am not on the field, typically, I'm not even at the stadium, but somehow, in these dire situations where it's a close game, I have convinced myself that my jersey that I'm wearing, and again, has nothing to do with this team, has everything to do with the outcome. Therefore, if my team loses, oh my God, I have to wash this jersey because it is now tainted with the stink of loss. But if they win, obviously, I'm responsible for that. Do not wash it because all the good vibes are in here.
I also think, for me, it has to do with sports. So, like, for football, like in the fall, like, I'll wear a Seahawks jersey. I'll wear Marshawn's. But for soccer, for the Sounders, I have a bunch of Sounders jerseys. But when I go to games, I never wear.
Really?
I just take a scarf with me and that's it. But if I'm watching a game at home, I'll put on a Sounders kit.
Well, I think the same. I think the same things about things I've seen. Like when the Sounders debuted the Jimi Hendrix kit.
Those are cool. Yeah.
They played really well. I mean, really well that night. So, and then the other night they put the jersey on. So right when they started the game, I was like, oh, they're wearing the Hendricks kits. They're going to kill them. And I think they won pretty well, like 3-0 or something.
Yeah, it was early in the year.
Yeah, exactly. So, but they just reintroduced it like this week. So they were wearing them on.
They were wearing them on Tuesday for the league. Yeah,
Cup. Exactly. And as soon as they put them on, I was like, oh man, they're going to win this game for whatever reason. And if you play, it's even worse. And I think the worst sport for superstition, and I never played hockey, but baseball is the one that I remember where, I mean, it is insane how crazy people are about routines, what they do, what they wear. I mean, you name it. You can break it down from head to toe.
You can't touch their hats. Do not put your hand inside of somebody else's glove.
Yeah.
Who's the dude who was rocking the Mickey Mouse T-shirt under his uniform? It's only like 2 or 3, but he was like, because someone made fun of him, and he said, look, man, I've been doing this all season, and they were on fire then, or at least he was, right? And he's like, I happen to be wearing it the day that I caught fire. He's like, I have to wear this under my uniform. Like, he would lose his mind if he did not wear his Mickey Mouse T-shirt under his uniform.
But do you guys know about the Mariners?
No.
And the curse, Mike, help me out. What's it, the curse of the Trident? Or something? Like, the Trident went away for years.
As far as the logo goes.
Right, and then they, like, brought it back, and people were like, do not bring it back. Like, we haven't done anything since you brought it back.
Yeah, there was a weird superstition there for a while that the Trident hat, that I think they turned it into the green that they have over there, and apparently that was the bad luck hat. The only reason why I didn't follow it is because I bought one of them because I thought it was cool looking.
It's awesome looking. Yeah. But I know a lot of Mariners fans who are like, you can't wear that gear. Like, they love the Mariners. They they legit think the Trident itself is cursed.
Well, apparently Adrian Beltre, one of the first times he ever hit a grand slam in the major leagues, when he got to home plate, it was a game winner. All right, so he walk off, grand slam, whatever. So he throws his helmet off, and everybody jumps on top of him. They start rubbing his head. All right?
All right.
Okay. He does not have a fear or a phobia of people touching his head. After that happened, he went on like a 20-game hitless streak. All right?
Whoa!
So he associated.
So that's where it started?
So he associated it with people rubbing his head, right? So from that point on, he's got this weird phobia, apparently. I saw this on, like, Real Sports or some crap. Like, if you touch his head or take off his hat or whatever, he freaks the hell out. Not because he doesn't like people. He probably got to the point now where he doesn't like people touching his head, period. He just thinks it's going to bring some bad juju to his game. You know what I mean? So,
like, I knew he had a real issue with people touching his head, but I didn't know that's where it came from.
So it's there you go. Back to superstitions again. So what are the top 10 phobias, you might ask, as it is Friday the 13th? Number 1 on the list is arachnophobia, the fear of spiders.
Got it.
I don't really have a fear of spiders, but since I got bit, I'm just like, it's annoying how bad the pain is.
I
how much
understand.
the bruising
It's
is.
unreasonable to be scared of that. I mean, it'd be one thing if we were covered in black widows, but I mean, there's not a spider whose ass I could not crush. Yeah, run. Yeah. I mean, just but you do your thing.
Wow.
But and even today, I'm out watering the lawn because that's what I do now. A cup of coffee, cigarette, watering the lawn, right? And I walk through these 2 plants. Walk right through the middle of what seemed to me to be a remarkably thick spider web. It wrapped around my head, and my freak out wasn't because the spider web is on me, but I realized based on the thickness, the spider is on me somewhere as well.
Okay.
And here I am outside,
you have
like,
fear of spiders.
brushing my head until that goddamn thing fell off of me.
I had one in my home this morning.
Did you kill it?
Had one.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was going to say, it's getting to the point where it's almost spider season, right?
Oh,
Seems to
dude,
be a
I
little
know.
bit,
I know.
toward
About
the fall.
September, and I know where they show up at my house.
At my place, it's always spider season.
Ted, number 2 is you, the fear of snakes. That is ophidiophobia.
What is it?
Ophidiophobia, I believe.
Why do they come up? Why don't they just go like snakeophobia, spiderophobia?
I'm just trying to make it difficult.
Because they use their scientific name.
I know, but isn't like a crab or something also an arachnid or whatever the hell? I don't know. Right. I'm not scared of crabs.
Acrophobia is the fear of heights.
Should be.
So we get the top 3. That's me. And again, my fear of heights is irrational. It doesn't make any sense because Steve sits 3 feet away from a window that drops down 14 stories in our building.
Are you thinking something?
What I'm saying is that, I could sit there and not have a fear of being in the building because realistically, I know I'm not going to go crashing through the window.
You want to trade seats? See if I push you.
But if there was no window there, I would freak the hell out.
Well, if there was no window there, I might be sitting a little closer to
That's
you.
what I'm saying. Like the entire idea of, like that, not having a wall or whatever, I would be back at that door back there.
What about the Space Needle? They have the glass
Needle,
floor in there
Space
now?
Needle's perfectly fine. I don't mind flying.
No, the glass floor, though.
Oh, I have not done that.
Okay.
See, I've not done that yet. I think that might take it to the next level for me.
It's true. I mean, like, I don't mind it, but the first time I went up there with it's trippy.
Yeah. They have like, I'll look at something online. It'll have like a pedestrian bridge somewhere. That goes
the sky bridges?
Yeah, exactly.
Grand Canyon.
Right. And I'm like, or just even the ones that are just the big, with the rope or the wooden slat stuff that goes across big gullies.
Oh,
and
suspension bridge, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, you can walk across there. I'm like, you can. You know what I mean? They're going to pay me to do that because I don't want to do it. I just, for whatever reason, I get freaked out. But it's not the same. Like in my dreams, I have no problem with heights. I can do all kinds of crazy stuff in my dreams. But in my dreams, my irrational fear is that I'm going to be late. And I can't figure out why I always have these dreams that I'm going to be late for something.
Because you're in radio. I'm telling you.
And it doesn't. Half the time it's getting to work, half the time it's getting to a sporting event, half the time it's just anywhere we go. Like, for whatever reason, it's like I'm stuck and I can't move forward to get to where I need to be.
Mike,
you know what I mean?
When you first got into radio, did you have a lot of, like, nightmare dreams just about being at work?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about this profession. Maybe it's true of all professions, but I never had it when I cooked. I never worried about it when I worked at an architect firm briefly. Never worried about it when I worked security for a little while. But you get into radio, and even when I got hired, I remember a lot of the guys I worked with said, hey, just so you know, you're going to have nightmares about this job. And I'm like, ho. They go, no, like, seriously, for like a week, you're going to have 3 or 4 nights where you wake up real stressed. And they were not kidding.
No, not at all.
This is insane.
And the thing is, I usually heard about everybody having nightmares about the dump button, which is a fairly rational fear.
That's the one that I always have.
That's your strongest fear.
I have yet to have a nightmare about the dump button, but my nightmares are mostly about either I've got dead air, we went to commercial and I didn't hit the button, or I didn't put certain commercials in where they're supposed to be.
Have you ever had the one where you've lost your ability to speak?
Yes.
Like nothing comes out of your mouth. It's almost like somebody who's having a stroke. It's like basically whatever you want to say is not going to be what comes out of your mouth.
I had one where I had to simultaneously run this radio program as well as do an auction on the computer. And nobody was giving me any information either way. They just pointed at me. I was like, are we live? Are we going? And they weren't telling me anything at all. I had no idea what was going on. I was completely out of control.
Yeah, but come on, Brian, give it a rest.
There is agoraphobia. And that is the fear of situations in which escape is difficult. This may include crowded areas, open spaces, or situations that are likely to trigger a panic attack.
Okay.
So people begin to avoid these events, sometimes to the point where they cease living in their parts of their home. Approximately 1/3 of people with panic disorder develop this. What else do we have? We have xenophobia, the fear of dogs. Phobia is often associated with specific personal experiences.
That's different.
Such as being bitten by a dog during childhood or whatever the deal is.
I mean, but I feel like that, as somebody pointed out here, you'll appreciate it, Ted. They said a phobia is considered an irrational fear. Fear of snakes completely rational. So I feel like if you're scared of dogs because you were attacked by a dog, like that's fairly rational. I get it.
I think sometimes too, for me, maybe it was growing up Catholic, but like.
Well, the snake's not associated with anything good.
Yeah, the serpent gets him to gets Eve to eat the apple.
But you eat apples. You love apples. You eat apples all the goddamn time. Look what happened when she bit it.
Well, but they knew not to eat those apples. I mean, look, I'm projecting on the snake because I don't want to fear women.
All right, okay.
Just don't forget she made Adam eat that apple.
There's a trypanophobia, the fear of injections. Social phobia, the fear of social situations. A lot of people like.
Isn't that just not just, but isn't that kind of like anxiety?
But even if it's, I don't know if it's if it's the horse or the buggy on that one, because either way, it does trigger anxiety.
Yeah, that's what I would
think. You have
think.
anxiety going in, and then then that triggers an anxiety attack. There is misphobia. We were in our old building. There was a woman, I believe, who had maybe a little bit of this, or
what is it called?
Misphobia.
Is it the fear of germs?
It is the fear
that little
of germs.
troll. I remember.
Yeah, maybe related to obsessive compulsive disorder. And I've known a couple of people like that. I'm trying to think of people there was 2 people who I've interviewed who, Howie Mandel, back in the day when he was doing stand-up, and Richard Lewis. You can't shake their hand. They don't want you to get too close to them. They'll just kind of nod at you and give you that look like, don't even reach your hand out. It's kind of understood.
If you want to see an example of it, so Howie Mandel was one of the hosts of America's Got Talent. A lot of time, magicians go up there and do their thing. They'll use him as their prop. Mm-hmm. And you can see how uncomfortable he is, not because of the trick they're going to do, but I know he's like an extreme germaphobe. And I'm like, he hates it because if their trick is successful, they'll either try to shake his hand or they try to give him a hug, right? Because they are legitimately excited about the success of their trick. And if you watch, he'll either give you a dap or an elbow bump. And it has nothing to do with the pandemic. Like, he straight up does not want your germs.
Wow. You guys who smoke out there, maybe this is our generation, but have you heard of the white lighter superstition?
Absolutely.
I've only heard that from weed smokers.
Okay. Either way, if you use a lighter on the regular, the white lighter, apparently, it's super unlucky.
Even if it has a coating on the outside that has a certain design on it, and somehow that gets peeled off, and underneath it is the standard white lighter, because they don't sell as much of those.
Right.
So they've got them, but they started wrapping them just so they could sell the inventory.
Because people started freaking. And where does that come from?
Okay, do you not know where that comes from?
I have absolutely no freaking idea.
It comes from the 27 Club.
All the musicians that died?
So, yes, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, and Kurt Cobain all died at the age of 27. According to the superstition, they all had white lighters on them when they died.
One had vomit in the throat, one put a bullet through their head, and the other one, I don't even know, Janis Joplin died.
But according to the superstition,
I
guess they all had white lighters. So that goes back to that. So that's why they say white lighters are bad luck, which is kind of crazy. But, man, that's one of the first things I learned when I got into the smoking club. You know,
especially when they go to the bar.
Old,
you got a light, and you pull out your light, and if it were white, I knew nothing about it. And they're like, oh, never mind, man. And I didn't understand. They're like, dude, you lit my cigarette with a white lighter? I'm like, is this a race thing? I mean, what the hell is going on?
Also, fishermen, man, people with boats. They have a million and a half superstitions about
no bananas.
Everything. Yeah, what is that?
Somebody said, it says bananas, they're bad luck on boats. Superstition dates back centuries. He's off currently fishing off of Alca. I don't know.
Eating a banana.
I will say this, though. Look,
could you eat a banana before you get on the boat?
I mean, you could, but like our buddy Mike, I wouldn't bring a banana on this boat.
All right.
Then why do they call certain boats banana boats?
Right.
I mean, it just seems
and
like
they have
that's an
sunshine
unlucky
lotion called
thing.
banana boat.
Well, banana boats are more just like a toy to ride on.
No, I know, but it just seems like if there's one thing that is specifically unlucky toward your particular hobby, right?
Yeah.
And it's bananas, I would not then call a boat the banana boat.
What about when they're shipping bananas?
How does that work?
Like, do we just screw that boat?
Nobody works on them. You got to hire. I mean, it's tough to find people to work.
It's just a ghost boat,
right? You got to paint the boxes different colors. Right. Like, no, these are Kiwis.
Our question: what is your superstition, unnecessary fear, or phobia? 206-421-ROCK.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Hey, all of Macholas, thank you so much for listening to the Men's Room Podcast.
And thanks to our pals at the Advocates Law Firm for being great partners. Yes, even you, creepy Kyle.
Seriously, though, if you'd been injured as a result of somebody else in your car, on your bike, walking across the street, talk to our friends at the Advocates Law Firm and let them help you out.
Yeah, they're the best injury lawyers around, and they want to make sure that you're not taken advantage of. Plus, your first consultation is free.
It's simple. You get injured, the advocates get results. Contact them today at advocateslaw.com.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Start summer up by mixing things up with top paint and stain brands at Lowe's. Shop HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams, Valspar, Cabot to find the perfect pop of color or classic shade you've been looking for. And don't forget to prep your deck for the season with reliable wood stain and sealer. Now's the perfect time to complete your paint or stain project. Lowe's, all things summer, all at the right price.
99.9 KISW. The Men's Room is in progress.
Our question, what is your superstition, unnecessary fear, or phobia? 206-421-ROCK.
A couple of quick ones here from the comments. 2 irrational phobias I have: being sucked down a drain, or even worse, getting stuck on the way. And then little gray aliens. And then this person says sunflowers. Freaking terrifying. So I did a little research for you. Apparently, you're not alone in your fear of sunflowers. It's called helianthrophobia.
Is it based on their size?
Well, it says it may sound strange, and it does. But people who, it may sound strange, but it actually exists. There's many reasons why this can occur. It could be the sight of them, the look, the smell, or even the thought.
I got one like as a gift. It was like in a little pot, you know what I mean? Like they're handing out as a freebie or whatever. So I took it home and planted it. That damn thing was like 13 feet high.
Yeah, they get real big.
It was amazing. Like I didn't do anything. I couldn't believe it grew that well.
Maybe she also fear Post Malone?
Oh, that song, Sunflower.
Yeah. If Post Malone and Swali shows up, she's out.
And then this one, weirdest phobia I have is, oh boy, Sedonglobophobia. It's the fear of cotton balls. The reason why I have it is because when I was a little kid, I touched a bunch of fiberglass insulation, and now touching a cotton ball reminds me of the glass shards being stuck in my hand for a while. Cotton balls, really. So, but think about this, man. So even if you choose not to buy cotton balls, if you buy aspirin, ibuprofen, right?
Yeah.
You pop the lid, the first thing to greet you, before you can just take medication to soothe your pounding head, there's that dreaded cotton ball saying, touch me. Touch me. If you want to feel better, reach your hands in and pull me out.
Does that just keep it from rattling in there?
I have no freaking idea why. I think it's just to freak that person out. Okay.
Yeah, you're right. Miles, that must be what it is. Because it can't keep it fresher.
Right. No.
And not every medicine has it, but you're right. A lot of the over-counter stuff always has the
cotton balls, yeah.
Vitamins or whatever. Cotton ball.
Look,
melatonin.
Just a request to the people that are texting in. Look, I got no problem reading what your phobia is. I appreciate the honesty. Don't tell me exactly what it is, because I cannot pronounce half of these phobias. Detractophobia. I mean, like, my God, man, just say I'm scared of blank. That's all I need. Hello, Alex. Welcome to the men's room.
Happy Friday, bitcholas.
Hola. Happy Friday.
All right, so my irrational fear is the sound of people, or the sound of fingernails scratching across a secured surface. Because it makes me feel like my nails are going to pop out of my nail bed.
What exactly did you say, scratching across the surface? I missed it.
Scratching across like a textured surface, like corduroy pants, like people scratching across the corduroy pants. The sound that it makes drives me nuts, tends to chill down my spine, and I cannot handle it.
So do you get like the phantom kind of, I don't know, phantom goosebumps in your own fingers when someone does that?
Yes, I have to press my fingers into like the palms of my hand. I press my toes into the ground to make sure that like all my nails are still there, and that they haven't popped out.
What if I'm just wearing corduroy pants and I walk by you? Would that bug you?
No. It's the scratching sound specifically.
And all right, let me ask you this, as far as the scratching sound. So, like Ted and Mike have the full beards, including on the side. So Ted scratches his beard because his cheek is itching. Is that sound going to drive you crazy?
That one, it's specific to like cloths. So like a towel,
okay,
or like a bed, or like a blanket, or your pants and stuff like that.
That's not that crazy, because like for whatever reason, if I open my freezer and there's two frozen things, and when they rub across each other, whatever that sound is sends chills up my spine.
Is that the only thing that's an audio cue for you?
Yeah, like you can nails on a chalkboard, cool. You can be scratching like across wood, that's fine. That doesn't bother me. Dragging things across the garage, I'm okay with that. Fingernails across the textured surface.
How about teeth on a fork? Dragging.
Nope, doesn't bother me.
Okay. All right.
Doesn't faze me.
That's the one I go, what are you doing?
It doesn't bug me. It's annoying because I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
But the sound doesn't bug me. I know a lot of people, and I don't have fillings. I just have cavities. But chewing aluminum foil freaks people out.
Yeah, well, if you have a cavity, that'll light you up.
But the thing, I understand that, but even people that don't have cavities, because I would do it just to piss people off at the bar years and years and years ago, but it's chew like this little ball of aluminum foil. But the percentage of people that were like, oh my God, you have to stop. But even people 20 feet away that did not see you put it in your mouth and chew, you see them have a reaction.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy, man.
I just try not to chew foil.
I mean, I don't normally do it. I only started doing it because somebody said it bugged them, and me being me, I'm like, and they
do you have any metal fillings in your mouth?
I do not. I mean, I have one fake tooth.
Okay, you've never experienced this before.
No, that's why I'm like,
yeah, exactly. What is your? I can't even explain it. What is your superstition, unnecessary fear, or phobia? 206-421-ROCK.
Ted, this one's just going to piss you off. My irrational fear is mascots. Now, my son thinks it's hilarious, but get this, he loves clowns.
So you like evil-ass clowns, but you hate joyful mascots?
He did not say he hates them. They simply freak him out.
What if there was a movie like Clowns versus Mascots? Would you go?
Oh, yeah.
You would?
Yeah.
Now, but you won't watch it. What if it was a horror movie?
It would have to.
So that's where the real fear comes from, is watching killer clowns from outer space as a child.
What if they made like killer mascots, right? Because a lot of people associate killer clowns from outer space, like Poltergeist, right? They'll always use clowns to be the evil thing. What if they did it with mascots? So the Mariner Moose, right? Suddenly goes on a killing spree. Sorry, man, the Mariner Moose.
But also, wasn't there a famous serial killer who dressed it?
John Wayne Gacy,
right? So
that's a clown.
But there's no mascot massacres.
But he looked like a clown that would kill people. Even when they show him dressed as a clown, I'm like, he looks like a clown that wanted to kill people.
So now, do you not watch horror movies because you don't like them, or do you not watch them because of the killer clowns, and that all kind of comes together?
It sounds ridiculous to say. I can't watch scary movies. I don't like to watch them because I'll get a nightmare.
Oh, you have a nightmare? Okay.
Yeah. So like, I'm not like scared. Like I sleep in the dark. I'm not scared of ghosts.
Ooh, that's a bad thing.
But like, if I watch a movie that's about creepy ghosts or that creepy doll Annabelle, like I'll have nightmares about ghosts and stuff.
I just don't. The problem with some of those horror movies, all right, and correct me, it could be Child's Play with Chucky,
right?
Annabelle with that doll. I'm like, I cannot imagine that anyone would actively purchase a doll that looks like these dolls to come home. If you're going to scare people, it should be like Barbie. Barbie should go kill people because people bring those dolls home. That Annabelle doll, I'm like, if you gave me that doll to give my kid, I would say thank you. And when you left, I'd burn it in the fire.
See, like Chucky, I could watch, but like Annabelle,
stupid.
Right? But Annabelle's so scary. It's like before it starts, it's like this is actually a real doll and based off a true story. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
But on the same token, though, like I can watch gangster movies or gangster TV shows and watch people getting killed and
it's based
mutilated.
on a true story or whatever.
Yeah, that stuff's fine.
You know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do to ruin that for you? So it'll be a gangster movie. Then what I'm going to do is the follow-up movie will be all the guys that were killed.
Yeah.
It's going to be their ghosts terrorizing people. It's going to go from one to the next, and they're going to possess
Does anybody in this room believe in ghosts?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know what too many people think they see it, or there's too many things, but I never have. But
no,
I don't know.
It's like Bigfoot to me. I mean, until I see Bigfoot, I'm not going to walk through the woods and go, oh boy, I hope I don't run into Bigfoot today.
Yeah, I think I'd put it this way. I'm not worried about being haunted. I'm not worrying about seeing a ghost, but I allow for the possibility of most things.
I mean, I guess for me it's a tough line because like I've clearly been in situations, just not enough water, and maybe saw some things.
Sure.
So I'm like, does that count as a ghost, or am I just hallucinating?
That's a hallucination. Well, my wife swears she saw ghosts, and the thing is, she tells the story. Look, I was not there, but when she was younger, so at the age where you're still spending
the night. She's also in Pennsylvania, which seems to be where everybody does see ghosts.
Yeah, and she was at a friend's house. I want to say they were teens, maybe. I'm sure I'm getting it wrong, but either way, her and her friend were spending the night together at her friend's house. Her friend's house, she still lived with her parents, and they both saw it at the same time. They both swear they saw the ghost, I guess, of like the girl's grandfather or something like that. And she doesn't even like to talk about it now.
Yeah.
Like if I bring it up, or I'll watch those paranormal shows, right?
Oh,
Simply I watch
no
it when she's dead asleep. But if she wakes up, she's like, you need to flip the channel. Because it brings back this memory for her. And I'm like, just go back to sleep.
Another guy from, he's not from Pennsylvania, but he married my buddy Johnny, who he was the guy who was the actor and stuff. Yeah. He married this woman and her family, and she grew up in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Notoriously haunted.
And they have a house, and they have a basement, but they have the guest bedroom in the basement where they were going to stay. So whenever the first time they went up there, and they weren't married or anything, they were just, here's the guy, thing I want to be with.
The thing I want to be with.
Here's the thing.
Baby, after all, did you hear the thing I want to be with?
And so they take the downstairs room, and Edie tells them before they get down there, hey, I just want you to know, the basement's always been haunted. There's a ghost down there. If you see something, don't worry about it. He won't bother you. And Johnny's like, yeah, okay, right, ever. Maybe I should reevaluate this entire situation that I'm in right now. And he's like, Miles, swear to God, there's a ghost down there. I swear to God, man. He's like, I don't believe that crap, man. He's like, I'm not even wigged out about it. He's like, I saw the damn thing. He's like, man, and he was dead serious. I mean, he's like, I know you don't believe me. But I swear to God, she said it casually. Then, like, I said something to her parents, like, oh, yeah, they named the ghost, like, Fred or some crap. I don't know what the guy's name was, but, like, yeah, you saw him. Yeah, we see him every once in a while. He doesn't come upstairs much, but anytime we go downstairs, he's down there.
His knees are bad.
How could you still have people sleep down there?
They live in the house. It's just like this thing that's there.
Why? I'm going to start telling people that about my house. Like, hey, man,
this doesn't seem like a normal family.
Here's the guest bedroom. By the way, just if you hear anything weird in the middle of the night, it's the ghost that's in the room, and demons are in the walls. Anyway, there's towels in the bathroom. Sleep tight.
This is the most black and white guy I know. I mean, he doesn't believe crap like that. He's just not one of those guys. He's very analytical about everything, and he was like, I swear to God, there's a ghost in the basement. I was like, well, did you sleep down there? He's like, we didn't really bother us that much. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like,
yeah, maybe I'm out then.
Right.
Did he stay with her?
Yeah, they're married. They've been married for, 20 years. But it was
Dang.
Still, it was just
that's real love.
That's just one of those weird things. Oh yeah, there's a ghost in the basement where we live. What is your superstition, unnecessary fear, or phobia? 206-421-ROCK.
All right, real quick. So let's say you do believe in ghosts.
All right.
why do they never hang out on the main floor? Yeah. They're always in the attic, in the basement. Like, nobody says, like, oh, yeah, in the living room there's a ghost.
Well, it seems like most of the time that people talk about not so much seeing ghosts, but why a ghost would stick around in this earthly world here. There's some trauma seems to be associated with it.
All right.
And typically when trauma goes down, if it's going to go down in your house, it seems like bad things happen in your attic and bad things happen. That's
buried
my
in the
only
basement.
I don't know.
Buried in the ground.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, you never meet anybody that has, what do you call a house without a basement? Like a rambler or something?
Yeah, a rancher, right?
Right. You never meet any, like, how come those homes don't have ghosts? Seems like you have to have an attic or a basement to have a ghost.
And basements flood. You know what I mean? So why even do it? I agree with you. Live on a slab.
By the way, someone says the real Annabelle doll does not look like the doll they used in the movie. It's actually just an old Raggedy Ann doll.
That's how they get you. Better.
That's how they get you. Hello, Matt. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bicholas.
Hola.
Yeah, so Friday the 13th, it lived up to its name. I just lost power.
Mm-hmm. Bad. It's only going to get worse from here.
Yeah, it's probably your last day on Earth.
What do you got, like a battery-powered radio in case the crap hits the fan?
Yeah, well, we have a generator. I just went and hooked it up because the air conditioner, you know.
Okay, yeah. I wonder why the hell you lost power. I mean, that's just
Friday the 13th.
I mean, you lost power in Fremont the other morning for absolutely no reason. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Oh, it's the heat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's so hot. Everybody's running ACs and this and that. It's pretty common. You're going to lose some power.
I thought you were going to call up and say you had an irrational fear of the sun.
I thought that's where you were giving him a hard time. Like, he lost power because everybody's using AC, and he's like, I fired up the Jenny, got the AC back on.
Nice.
Yeah. Finally, it's like the first time I've used it in like 2 years. I bought it and I forgot to use it. But anyways, my phobia is anything to deal with broken glass because of my vision.
So, what in what way? So if there's like a bottle on the road that's been busted or something like that, or
no, like say like you're in the kitchen and like I drop a glass, I just luckily I live with people, but like I can't clean it up because I tried to once like when I was a teenager, and like I just sliced open my finger and I had to go to the hospital and get like 7 stitches. And since then, it's like it's just one of those things with my vision. Like it's like that and power tools. I'm not using power tools just because I made that decision.
But I'm not sure that that's an irrational fear, to be honest with you. I mean, because if you can't see, it's hard enough to pick up glass and clean it up when you can.
It's irrational if you can't do it. It's understood that broken glass is very dangerous. So, I mean, I'm not thrilled to be picking up pieces of glass, and obviously I'm a little slower and more diligent when I do it. But at the point where I'm like, I can't touch it, that's when it gets irrational. Which is not insulting you, but just at that point, it becomes irrational. Although I'm going to start using that around the house now. Hey, baby, I dropped a glass of orange juice on the floor. I can't explain it. I have this irrational fear cleaned it up, so I'm going to go back to the game. You go ahead and get that for me.
What is your superstition, unnecessary fear, or phobia? 206-421-ROCK.
I like that. By the way, the person who is freaked out by cotton balls, they say, I am, in fact, freaked out by the cotton balls that are at the top of the pill bottles, but they use tweezers to remove them.
Where else are they in any other vein except for the fact in a bag of cotton balls? I mean, where else would you run into cotton balls in normal day-to-day, life?
I don't. I mean, other than opening medication or voluntary. And as a dude, I don't even know what cotton balls are for. I'll be honest.
Well,
I got Q-tips.
I've used them before to clean out an ear infection in a dog. You know what I mean? You put a little medicine on there and you wipe them down, things like that.
I mean, you get a bug bite and you got to put a little calamine lotion on a cotton ball.
Don't you just stick it straight on?
Dab it on your leg?
Obviously, I'm living life wrong. Because, like, if we get a bag of cotton balls, to me, we will have that bag until we die.
Do you have cotton balls?
Yeah, they're, like, in this drawer. Okay. And I've never...
I don't think I have them.
I've never used... And they're open.
Is it for makeup, too? Like, do women use them for makeup?
That might
like
be
ladies use them for fingernail polish remover.
Right. You know what? Yeah. Okay. Like, I've never used a cotton ball.
Yeah, like, I don't own any, but I don't live with any women.
Mm-hmm. I got a drawer full of them, and I'm like, the bag's open. I'm like... Why is it open? What do you need this for?
What are cotton balls for? I'm going to Google it.
I'm serious. Well, I want
to know what they're originally made for.
I've been watching a pretty famous drug show, so I know people also use them, unfortunately, to like make sure nothing gets into a syringe.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, you can't be too careful when you're about to kill yourself. That's sort of like, hey, do this with caution. I don't want you to hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, so what's it say?
Well, they're also used for decoration when you make snowmen around Christmas on construction paper.
You know what? That is very true. I get a run on cotton balls around Christmas, yes.
Mm-hmm. Basically, they say the cotton balls have been used for applying gold leaf since as far back as 1801.
Huh.
So it was used in artists. They were being mass-produced as far back as 1816. I guess it's used in the medical world a lot.
Sure, I get all that. I don't know why I have them at home.
I don't either. I'm just trying to figure out, like, what is a day-to-day use for a cotton ball? Like, oh my God, we need cotton balls, or grab the cotton balls. You know?
Yeah, I can't.
Some bunny runs out of your yard real quick, like, get me out of here. Cotton pads are soft enough they can be used to clean babies. Prevent bleeding from minor punctures, injections, medical or cosmetic purposes. Mostly secured with tape. Cotton pads are used in the application and removal of makeup. All right.
Okay, there you go. It had to be the makeup thing. Here's an unusual phobia for you. It says, my phobia is specifically when little people, and they add dwarves, run. Specifically when they run. I have no explanation why, but I simultaneously laugh and freak out every time I see it.
There's somebody in my extended family that has a phobia of, unfortunately, of little people. And like freezes if a little person walks in the room.
That's not awkward.
It is so awkward.
Have you been present when that's happened?
Yes.
Oh.
What do they do?
Sorry, man.
They just freeze and there's a look of fear on their face. And they know that it's unrational.
Do you think they ever lock eyes?
Oh, no. That's more of a me and somebody else in the family kind of when somebody's kind of frozen, you just kind of slowly kind of nudge them along. Let's get you out of this room because that is just a normal person who happens to be short.
Right.
And you're making this odd.
What is your superstition, unnecessary fear, or phobia? 206-421-ROCK.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.